Aloha friends, it's Robert Stellick with Blue Planet Surf. Today's video is all about our new high-performance wing foil board, the Wingmaster V2, and I'm going to compare it a little bit to our original Wingmaster board. These are both 4/6, the smallest version of the V1 and the V2, and just going to show a little bit what's different, what changed on the design, and why I've really been enjoying this board. It's great high performance board. It's a little bit thinner, lower volume, narrower width, more high performance. The original V1 4/6 was 24 inches wide, 5.3 thickness, and 78 liters in volume. The new one is a little bit thinner, especially right in the tail where you're over the foil, which I find helps feel more connected to the foil. It's 4/6, same length, but 21 inches wide, 4.5 inches thick, and 60 liter volume. It's also available in 410 by 22 by 72 liters and in 5.3 by 24 by 96 liters. So we have it in 3 sizes. And one of the differences in this is it has a pretty flat rocker line, and it's flat all the way to the tail. So that and also the narrower width reduces the drag. So once you're up on the surface and going, it has an easy takeoff speed. It reaches a takeoff speed easily, and you can get up on foil quite easily. But of course, that the V1 has 78 liters, and the new one V2 has 60 liters in the 4/6. So that 18 liters less volume is definitely noticeable. With this one, I can actually float on the surface more or less with just a little bit of pressure in the wing. With this one, it definitely takes a little bit more pressure to get up on the surface, but as long as there's a little gust, I can easily get the thing going. So once you're up on foil, having a thinner, smaller board you feel a little bit more connected to the board because it's not quite as thick. So that's kind of the advantage. You get used to the feel of a smaller board. It's definitely a nice feature to have a smaller board that just feels more connected to the foil. Some of the differences are, like I said, the tail just goes flat all the way to the back. There's no kick tail, which I find helps with acceleration. Also, of course, the narrow width. It kept the really rounded off boofy nose, which helps if you touch down. You don't get that abrupt sucking effect of that concaves can have. So the rounded boofy nose, nice amount of nose rocker, and it's got really full rails, and foot strap inserts are offset on the back foot, so you can ride it, with the foot strap offset. The front foot strap has different mounting options, so you can have it set up to switch your feet or set it up with one foot only. It has handles on the top and on the bottom. We added a handle on the bottom that you can use to carry the board with the foil attached. It balances out with the foil on. The deck handle is placed so it balances without the foil attached. One of the tricky parts of using a lower volume board is paddling with the foil upside down over shallow areas or reef. I attached a wax mat pad here right in the middle under my chest, so when I turn the board upside down, it's a little bit easier for me to paddle it upside down, just because it'll sink more under you, so it's definitely less stable than having a bigger floatier board. If you're interested in our V1 Wingmasters, we still have some in stock, and we're having a closeout sale right now. It's available at a great price. I'll put the link down below for the Wingmaster V1 boards, and the V2 boards are also available now. They come in this full carbon construction, and then we also have it in bamboo hybrid construction with carbon deck, bamboo, and Kevlar rails. And as on all our foil boards, we have the foil strong box, which lets you mount a Tuttle or plate mount foil. Either one works on these. It's super strong, reinforced with a high density foam PVC block that attaches to the deck. Our deck pad has a little arch bar in the back, which makes it more comfortable to ride, and then also a little bit softer. It also comes with a grippy micro grip surface, so that helps if you're knee starting and the board angles up a little bit. It'll give you a nice grip on the deck pad. And then there's lots of mounting options for the foot straps. And the board also has a FCS plug on the nose if you want to mount a camera on the nose. Okay, so those were some of the basic features of the boards. I'm going to show some video of the boards in action. Here, Koa is using the 4.6. I was using the 4.10 model, and then Eli in the orange shirt was using the 5.3. And we had a fun session trying out the 3 different sizes together. And I'm going to talk a little bit more also about the design philosophy behind these boards, and show some footage of using the boards in different conditions, my impression of using a smaller, lower volume board, and then also some special deals we have available on foil equipment at Blue Planet Surf. So so having that lower volume board is definitely nice when you're up and riding on the foil, but of course having a little bit more length and volume helps with getting started a little bit earlier. But once you get used to using a smaller board, figure out the technique, the difference in the speed and the wind speed you need for launching, getting up on foil on a smaller, on the 4.6 for me, it's not that much different between the small 4.6 and the bigger 4.10. So basically my philosophy is that I look for inspiration at boards like a prone paddle board that has like really rounded shapes and tries to decrease the drag at lower speeds, because basically the way I see it is that you want to minimize the drag at low speeds to get going, because once you hit like 7, 8, or 9 miles per hour, the foil takes over and you want the board to release from the water as smoothly as possible. So minimizing drag at low speeds versus minimizing drag at high speed, that's kind of more what my goal is, because I find that once you hit higher speeds, you don't really need the board to handle those higher speeds. It's not like a speedboat or a water airplane that lands on the water, or high speed windsurf board or whatever. Those kind of shapes obviously are designed to handle very high speeds, planing over the water, where you want like hard edges and possibly concaves and so on. But to me, on a wing foil board, it makes more sense to optimize the board to have less drag at lower speed. So that's kind of my philosophy behind the shape, that's a little bit more rounded off. I'm trying to maximize the length of the board by keeping it flat instead of having like a beveled tail. So that kind of lengthens the waterline a little bit, and then keeping the center of the board flat and having a wider planing area while keeping the width very narrow. So a narrower width basically to me makes sense, because then it has less drag, but at the same time keeping a little bit of length in the board. So basically what I find on the small board is that the side-to-side balance is not that difficult. One of the advantages too of having a lower volume board is that it kind of sinks under the surface. So if the surface is really rough and choppy, having a little bit lower volume board can actually be more stable, because it kind of sits just underneath the chop when you're getting up on it. So it's not as sensitive when you're kneeling on it to side chop and things like that. So in this session you can see there's like no white caps in sight. It's definitely a light wind session. I'm using the 6-meter alien wing, and once I'm up on the foil, I can keep it going in very light wind, and then having that smaller, thinner board feels really good on the wave. It feels really you can directly feel the foil and have a very nice handling feel of between your feet and the board and the foil. So definitely getting used to using that lower 60 liter volume board, even in very light wind conditions, and I think that's going to be my standard board going forward. But obviously if you're getting started, don't start on a board like this. This is probably my 10th foil board or something like that. So it's a small progression of small steps, going smaller and lower volume with each board. So it's not something that you want to do right away. And then the wind kept getting lighter and lighter. Here's my friend Harold helping me with his dinghy to get me going again. And then I just tried to not fall in, because basically the wind got so light that once I came off the foil, it was really hard to get it going again. And I would say it's not just because I'm on the low volume board, just because the wind was too light. Like even on the higher volume board, I don't think it would have been easy to get up and going without a gust. So sometimes I just had to sit and wait for a while for the next gust. One more thing that's worth mentioning is that the rounded rails on the Wingmaster V2, kind of that boofy nose and kind of a little bit softer rails, handles really predictably. If you do touch down on the water at higher speeds, it just kind of glances off the water. It doesn't do anything unexpected, or kind of doesn't stick to the water. It just kind of glances off and keeps going. So I think that's really important too for a foil board to handle predictably if it does touch down and doesn't stick to the water. So in terms of deals going on at Blue Planet, we have some really good deals available. Like I said, the Wingmaster V1 is on sale. Basically we have the bamboo version. Our in-store special is $7.99, and then the full carbon version is $9.99. So there's limited supply available of those. So if you want kind of a higher volume, high performance board, those Wingmaster V1s are a great deal right now. And then we also having a sale on our full carbon carver foils. Basically they're 50% off for the carver foils. We have it available in 5 different sizes, and those are a really good option for beginner or intermediate riders. It's a little bit thicker profile. It's not a super high performance foil, but easy to ride and very, very strong and nice quality foil, and at 50% off, it's a great deal. We're also offering a prone board with a carver foil for $9.99, which is also a killer deal. So check those deals out. We also have the PPC wings and the ozone wings on sale, and of course our alien wings are a great value as well. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone that supports Blue Planet Surf. Check us out at blueplanetsurf.com whenever you need foil gear. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this video. And then on next week's video, I'm going to talk about a new toy that I just got, the Foil Drive, which is like a little electric motor to assist you getting onto waves or for downwinders. I just set it up last night and am looking forward to putting together a video about that. My first impressions on the Foil Drive system. Just tried it last night for the first time. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video on the new Wingmaster V2 model. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. I'll get back to you right away. And or you can call our shop at 808-596-7755, or check our website for more information on the Wingmaster V2. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the water. Aloha.